and what is the new methodology we adopt for a kind of a countermeasure methodology. So this is going to be like new things, like you would have come across the different category of IoT protocol, but still like we are going to cover the various category of IoT protocols and the tools which are utilized today and how far it is utilized in industry setup, for that too, for firming of the hardware, and how far it has been utilized for the mechanism, and most importantly we are going to discuss about the security breaches and its countermeasures by the new methodology, so suitable for the IoT networks. So this is what the next session is going to be about this. So instead of PPT, I'm going to have a classroom session for you, right? So we are going to drive one by one. So what is the logic and what happens here? And then we'll go for a derivation based on the things, videos, what I showed you. But this video is completely different for you guys, actually. So I'm going to derive a countermeasure for the IoT protocols, or that too on the data transmission and data integrity schemes. So how to make it this good integration on the integrity on the data. So this is what the thing is. So starting from the basics, ended with the upcoming research, encryption, or what we called as like secured algorithms. So secured communications in IoT protocols. So this is what our plan for this 1 hour session actually. So it is going to be like a little bit complex because we are going to have some mathematical model, deriving a mathematical model and everything. So, so please stop me when you don't understand that mathematical model so that I can repeat you once again. So how it can be utilized. So I'll just move on to my session actually, to the classroom session. So this is what we are going to come across here. So this is what we are going to come across here. That is how and what applications and problems and the countermeasures. So let me explain. So already in the morning session, we told you what is an IoT is. So now we're just making into an IoT protocols. Before moving into IoT protocols, let me explain what are all the IoT transceivers which are available and how it functions. So this is the logic. So what are the functions and what is the logic which we have been utilizing here? The first IoT transmitter or a transceivers is a Bluetooth. Actually, you know about the Bluetooth. Nowadays, we use this Bluetooth. And the thing which we come across here is like BLE 5.0. So in today's scenario, we work on BLE 5.0 for the low bandwidth. And when you come across with the Bluetooth, it comes across 10 meters. Now this BLE 5.0 can transmit greater than 10.0. So that is greater than 10 meters. This is the most important cases, that is integrating an IoT over the Bluetooth. That is internet over the Bluetooth. That is BLE 5.0. So that is the low bandwidth which has been utilized. So hardware has been completed. Now I'm going to cover this all transceivers. Second transceivers which we come across is normally, it's well-known fact, that is a Wi-Fi, right? The Wi-Fi is normally utilized. And here there is another concept which we come across is LoRaWAN. So this is the logic which we come across here. This LoRaWAN is normally again a BLE with a internet integrated over here, which can cover long distance. That is, it is not like greater than 10 meters. It will be in terms of hundreds of 100 meters. So this has been most widely utilized for an agriculture logic. It has been utilized for an agriculture and for, as we talked about, the smart healthcare system. That is, it most widely utilized for smart health point. So this is all been utilized, this Wi-Fi and LoRaWAN. And then next comes another technology that is called LTE. So this is the most important technology which is coming over here, long-term evolution. So this is the most important cases which we are utilizing today. It is a long-term evolution which finds its application in automotives. Most importantly, in the automotives and in the scenario of vans. So it has been utilized here. Automotives, when you work on with kind of a Tech Mahindra, or you work on with a Ford, a BMW, everything, they have integrated LTE technologies, integrated with that. Okay, so the LTE, and there is another case which comes into the picture, that is for Zigbee. It is for lower bandwidth, and most importantly, it is utilized for WSN assisted IoT devices. This is most widely utilized research in the area. So it is the WSN IoT devices. So Zigbee plays a vital role for WSN and IoT devices. The LTE plays a vital role for automotive connectivity, which we talked on in the previous session. Wi-Fi and LoRaWAN, agriculture and smart healthcare system, and Bluetooth, like already it has been utilized for a commercial thing for kind of a data transfer. And then you have a most important technique that is called the most important thing, CAT technology. The CAT technology is coming into the future. That is, the CAT will be utilized kind of a protocols is not this kind of a transceivers is utilized along with the 5G, right? And also the case of your what you call as a 5G or LTE. So this is the logic which comes across here. We have different versions of a CAT transceivers, and the CAT transceivers plays a vital role in case of a 5G and LTE system. So this is another category which comes into the picture. And then we have another category which comes into the picture is IBCON. This is most important technology from Apple. So you can find out proximity solutions over here. Proximity solutions can be determined over here, and it is mostly utilized in your supermarkets. It is widely utilized in the case of when you go for Walmart and everything. So the IBCONs plays a very important role. So proximity solution based, it's also a category of a low power Bluetooth mechanism, but in a very different manner. And we have it has been utilized to identify the distance of each and everything. The location identification plays an important role with the help of IBCON, and it is being utilized in the supermarket. So whenever you want to do such a kind of a supermarket application, then you can use this IBCON for finding out the solution. It is already utilized in your smartphones. IBCON is already used in your smartphones and already utilized in your smartwatches also. So another important application what we have here is, then comes the most important 5G IoT. This is the logic. This is the logic which comes into the picture. That is 5G IoT scenario. 5G IoT scenario comes into the picture here. So next and now thing is 5G IoT. When the 5G comes into the picture, you have a different options to work on this communication mechanism. So all these protocols comes into the picture, and when we have like a LTE, it can be supported with the case of another tool that is a GSM tool that is called GPRS. So these are all the protocols which is being utilized in IoT scenario. That is, I repeat, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, GPRS, Zigbee, CAT, IBCON, and 5G IoT. So 5G IoT scenarios are being utilized for the different application. Now we'll see these are all the transceivers, right? You will understand these are all the transceivers, and the transceivers will be connected with the cloud using the IoT protocols, This is what the logic which will be taking care about it. This is all the mechanism. So this is all the mechanism we have to take care about it. And the most important, I have just forgotten it. Then there comes the physical devices, Ethernet. So this is another thing which comes into the picture for the Ethernet calculations. So here, when you talk about this, so the transceivers plays an important role. These are all the transceivers what we utilized here. And from the transceivers, it should be connected with the cloud using the IoT protocols. So there are a lot of difference between the transceivers and the protocols. So these are all the transceivers, right? And the protocols what we are going to discuss today is something different, which is followed for an efficient data transfer between the device, the whole device, to the cloud system. So this is what the logic which is happening over here. So how first we'll see one by one protocol. So before that, we should be aware about our OSI layer. Everybody knows about OSI layer, right? 7 layers. You have 7 layers over here. So the protocols has to be chosen depends upon this. The first criteria is the protocols to be chosen depends upon this. Depends upon the OSI layer, which layer the protocol supports. That has to be taken care with the help of the logic. So this has to be taken care. I'll just list out one by one how it functions, then the layer mechanism. First protocol, most important protocol, what is being utilized today is MQTT protocol. This is the most widely utilized protocol for any kind of end-to-end communication. This is the most important. So it has been utilized for an end-to-end communication, MQTT protocol. What is it actually is? Message queues or queuing for transport telemetry, or it may be interchangeable, a telemetry transport, sorry. So it is most important criteria for any kind of a protocol, because based on this protocol, we are going to derive or we are going to see some demos about the most important cases in the hardware or a IoT protocol. So first thing is about MQTT protocols, the message queuing telemetry transport. So what is it actually? So why I consider this as an important one? So let me have the ordinary scenario. Whenever you do with the start with the IoT protocol, the normal protocol which comes into the picture is HTTP protocol. Okay, so hypertext transfer protocol. This is the normal protocol which comes into the picture. So this is the normal protocol which comes into the picture. So this is a normal protocol. But how far it is different from MQTT? How far it is different from MQTT and how the MQTT works? Let me have an example, right? So let us consider an example of matrimonies. Right? So matrimonies, you have matrimonies over here. What we do is like, we will subscribe. That is, what is the logic is, we will post our information, here, and whoever is being like interested, whoever is being subscribed over this matrimony website will get the information. This is the logic. So this is the logic what we have. This is a simple example. So repeat, there is a matrimony site and the server side, and whoever wants to access the data, so whoever, they will post the messages about their data, and whoever wants to can get the data from the matrimonies. Instead of for single to single, just understand the concept. Instead of single to single, there is a intermediate, and from the intermediate, both these parties can communicate with each other. So hope you have understood what is the logic is. So I repeat once again, instead of point-to-point communication between the two devices or two nodes, what we do is we have a server system, or we can call it as a server system, in which the two parties can communicate with each other through this logic. So this is what the mechanism. First mechanism, please make it clear. That is, I need one gateway, and that gateway makes the communication between the devices. Very simple. This is one point. Second point is about, we can calculate, that is, we can make a feature, that is, it is known to be the message over IPs. This is the logic. This you would have heard about the word called WhatsApp. WhatsApp works on MQTT protocol. So WhatsApp works on the MQTT protocol. So the messages over IPs. So messages over IPs. So what they do, like the informations will be posted as a message to the matrimonies or to the gateway, and then whoever wants it can subscribe and get the data to do the access. This is very simple logic which has been taking place here. So so in technically talking about, so posting the message, I consider a data center on publishing the message. So the matrimonies, in the case of matrimonies, I need some gateway, and that gateway is known to be the broker, and that broker, whoever subscribes, can get the data. So simple. So this is the logic which works on your MQTT mechanism. This is the logic. So this is the logic which we come across here. It is a lightweight protocol and most widely utilized. So the broker have to the nodes or the devices which you want to utilize to communicate can put the data on the broker side, and whoever wants the data to access, they can subscribe it for the accessibility. Let me draw the network here. What is the network here is, let us assume node 1. So node 1 with Wi-Fi transceiver, it is irrespective of a transceiver. Node 2 with irrespective of a transceiver. That is node 2 with Wi-Fi again. So what happens there is another category, there is another control node. Let us assume it is a control node, control 1, and we have another thing, control 2. So what we do is, there is a gateway. There is a gateway that is called broker. That is what crawler. That is nothing but a gateway, a simple gateway of a hardware. That's it. So don't think that broker is completely different. It is a gateway, or it is a server, or it may be a cloud, right? Or it may be a cloud. So it's a gateway, simple. So what I do is, the node 1 publish the data to the broker. That is, I'll repeat once again, the gateway can be a hardware or a server, or it may be a cloud, or even maybe a fog. I'll tell you what is fog is, right? It may be a fog. It may be a fog controller, right? So what I do is, like the node from the data will just publish the data on my broker, right? And all these programs will be written on JSON format. This JavaScript actually. So like what I do is, like I just go to the data and push the data, that is publish the data on the broker, and with the IDs and what to send, everything. So what happens is, this control node, by subscribing to the broker, that is subscribing, can read all the data, whichever the data is required for the control can extract the data and do the control application. This is very simple scenario for your industry 4.0. Repeat once again here. It consists of all the nodes and nodes, control nodes over here, that is devices. What happens here is it is all connected with a broker. The broker is a gateway. It is nothing but it consists of a hardware. It consists of server, cloud, or maybe a fog, right? It may be a fog. The IoT has reached its next level called fog computing. I'll tell you what is fog computing is. So then what happens here is in the Wi-Fi network, the data will be published in the broker. That is, it will be storing the data in the broker. And whoever wants the data to control, they should subscribe to the broker to get the data and they can do the control application. This is what the logic. When the similar side, this control node can publish the data and the node on the other side can subscribe the data to get for an application. You know what is the status. So the bidirectional application, can take place with the help of a first protocol, that is MQTT protocol. So the MQTT protocol is a very basic example. Think about the matrimonials. Whoever wants to get the data, instead of point-to-point communication, we have an intermediate. So through intermediate, all the nodes and all the environmental nodes are communicating with each other. So all the nodes are communicating with each other. So the next level is getting the information. So we have to post the application, and what is the logic we have to take care here is we have to make it clear about the logic, that is post the information through publish data structure, and whoever wants the data can subscribe it. So here, this is the gateway. So in order to design your MQTT protocol, which finds the most important application in M2M communication, we need the nodes, all the nodes surrounded, connected with any kind of a protocol with the broker. Broker is nothing but a gateway. It's a gateway, or it's a consist of a hardware, cloud, server, or whatever the case you consider as even a fog computing. So it's a fog computers. So this is how the scenario of MQTT. So how to solve this MQTT? What are all the things you have? Because it is most important in industry. You are all professors, we insist your students to focus on this protocol, because this is important whenever you want to go for a industry 4.0. This MQTT plays a very important role. So now what I'm going to do is, how do I implement it? How do I implement this? Implementation is another criteria. So what I'm going to do is, you have already the tools of mechanism. Here you have a two tools, that is PAHO and Mosquitto. So maybe a typo, right? So Mosquitto, right? So you have a kinds of mechanism with a package, software package of MQTT. One is to start with. You have a lot of softwares which are available. I tell you one by one. But when you start doing an MQTT protocol, please concentrate on the PAHO or the Mosquitto software package which are available, right? So what you can do with this? What are the things you can do with this? How to make an experimental setup for this, right? First thing is about, you can make Raspberry Pi, because I start with the very basics actually. Raspberry Pi as a server connected with all the nodes which consist of an 8-bit controllers. Such as your Arduino, simple Arduino, or something like Node MCU, simple, right? So you can construct everything with the help of this concept actually. So the Raspberry Pi as a server. So how does the experimental setup is going to be, right? My Raspberry Pi will act as a broker here. It will be acting as a broker, and all the nodes which is having all the control units and the sensor will act as the slaves. Okay, this is the slaves. Okay, these are the things. So what they will do is, like you have, this is a server or a gateway as a mechanism. What they will do is, they will post the message to the Raspberry Pi through the completion called publishing, and the other nodes, whoever wants to receive it, subscribe to Raspberry Pi and get the data. And this package, when you want to run the package on the different nodes, these two softwares can be utilized effectively. So you can install the software on the Raspberry Pi, and you can see the data collections which has been taking over here. So I'll, if time permits, I can show you some demos also. So the PAHO or the Mosquitto softwares can be utilized to test in the real-time scenario. This can be checked in the real-time scenario. So this is what I told you before. Raspberry Pi is being utilized, is underutilized in our application, but still you can utilize for this. That is, this softwares can be utilized to make it MQTT or a simple M2M communication. This is one category. How to utilize for the next category. Next category is about, so instead of Raspberry Pi, you can use cloud as a gateway. There is a simple gateway called Azure or even TeamSpeak, which is utilized today. That is TeamSpeak, and connecting with the 8-bit controllers. This is another approach where you want to build your MQTT. This is another thing. So cloud server and Azure or ThinkSpeak or AWS, whatever the case, you can connect it with a kind of a cloud and you can do with the application. Third is about, again, a Raspberry Pi. The fog. The fog actually. So fog and connecting with the 8-bit controller. So this is a most important research which is going on today. And this is the plays an important role for you. Why? Because it's fog, we have to understand what is the fog is all about. So when I do with the IoT, this cloud and the gateway and the connected with the devices. This is the normal logic what we follow in the IoT with the protocols. But here in the fog, what we come across here is cloud, box, gateways, devices. So this is the logic. So this is the logic what we come across here. This is the cloud and fogs and gateways and devices. What is the role of a fog? Why we go for a fog here? The fog is normally utilized. This is the logic. The fog is normally utilized for the major thing. It is an intermediate layer between the cloud and the data. So it reduces the traffic loads. The most important here, it is traffic loads. It reduces the traffic loads. Second application is security. It has been normally utilized for security application and for the faster response. So reduces the traffic loads, security, and the faster response. Utilized for a kind of an application. So this is how it has been utilized for a kind of an application. This is fog. It's a fog is nothing but a intermediate layer. It can be again, it can be a gateway or anything. So this connects the cloud with all the networks. So here, this is the logic. Again, it can be utilized as a fog, can be utilized as a broker, connected with the devices. This is another scenario of.
So there is a question.
Hello.
Sir, there is a question, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
How do nodes or interact and communicate, exchange the data since IoT is dynamic and heterogeneous devices are involved? Posted the question, sir.
Okay, okay.
How do nodes can interact, communicate, and exchange the data since IoT is dynamic and heterogeneous device?
Yeah, that's what the MQTT plays an important role. That's what the MQTT, that's why I'm talking about the importance of MQTT. So since the brokers are there, so you can see here, since the brokers are here and the broker will able to communicate with the heterogeneity. So in my classroom, you can understand one point here. You can see one point here. You can see here, this is all the heterogeneity data. So for example, you can see here, let us assume in this point. So here, this is all the dynamic mechanism or what you call as a heterogeneity scenario, because the working of and the sensor nodes are different and Raspberry Pi will be different. So you can able to get a communication and you can able to make a communication with the help of a broker. That is what we call as a MQTT broker, which is applied over here. So this kind of a protocol can solve the heterogeneity problems in the IoT. Doubts clear? Is the doubt clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that's why I'm just making you the importance of this protocol. But whenever you can connect with any kind of a boards, what is been, that's why I'm telling you, the boards are different. The Raspberry Pi is different, and the Node MCU and or whatever case, or whatever the case, these are different boards. So here they can communicate with the one single program, that is one single protocol or one single mechanism, that is MQTT. Best example, when I talk about a WhatsApp, so WhatsApp, the different mobiles are communicated with each other. So the different messages are communicating with each other. That's why it plays an important role. So that is why we are concentrating the MQTT here in this session, IoT. That's why I'm giving thrust to this, because it is important. So it can solve what are the heterogeneity problems and anything. So I hope you have understood, right? So then the thing is, This is the logic. So this is the logic of implementing the MQTT protocol over the logic. So this is the protocol which we have seen. Now, what is the next scenario? Where do we apply this? Where do we apply this? Only for a data transfer or any other application? Now, the industry is focusing on the next mechanism, which plays an important role through IoT. It is called PA. It is over-the-air programming. This is most important cases nowadays, actually. Over-the-air programming is most important in today's scenario using the IoT protocols. So using MQTT, particularly on MQTT. So because I'm having a thrust on MQTT, so let me have this over-the-air programming on the IoT protocol using MQTT, second application. So before moving how it works, what is the necessity for the over-the-air programming? Hope you have understood from this, right? What is MQTT? Examples, how we can design it, what is the logic which we can utilize it, what are the softwares, open source softwares which are available, and what are the methodologies to implement and test your what do you say called the MQTT protocol implementation. Finally, we are in the stage of over-the-air programming. How does it work? So any doubts up to this, because we are moving on to the next level of application. Is any doubts over this? Any queries?
No, sir.
Hope you can understand what is this actually.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. So now we'll move on to the next category of devices, next category of an application, which is quite common in IoT scenario, and this plays a very, very important role for a kind of the programming your hardware. So let me explain the scenario. So why this is one kind of application for Industry 4.0, and MQTT plays an important role in this case, that is over-the-air programming here, right? So I'll just repeat once again. I'll tell you like what is it. Let's consider the scenario. How many of you have experience to work on the boards actually? How many of you have any experience on working on the boards? For example, on microcontrollers.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine.
Arduino and Raspberry Pi.
You have worked on Raspberry Pi. That's fine. That's good. Actually, like what we do in Raspberry Pi is like we just do the program on the kernel level, correct? So, and the application layer runs on this. So the over-the-air programming, I just tell you the mechanism which is happening over here. The over-the-air programming is normally utilized to connect or to program the number of devices. Number of devices. This is the logic, right? So I have a server. Kindly understand, this is the kind of server or cloud. Just mostly understand this is a cloud, and I do the program in my system, load it on the cloud. What I do is from the cloud system, I can able to update any kind of board which is available with a program. So this is where you can connect. For example, you can connect your Raspberry Pi in your laboratories. And from the home, you can do the program and run the Raspberry Pi. This is the over-the-air programming where you can connect at least 150 of devices or even millions of devices connected in a server, and you can program simultaneously. And this technique, this technology is been booming up. Why? Because every time when I install a hardware, there is the upgradation of a hardware or a software, which I do normally. When you are seeing in a smart devices or a smart watches, they will be asking a question. Upgrade the software. When you press yes, it will upgrade automatically. And similarly, it has been integrated for the IoT devices. Consider an example. Let us assume my X device operates. My X device functions for a facial emotion, something like that. Okay, so facial emotion. Now, I want to convert this same program. This hardware remains to be the same, and I want to convert this facial emotions into some other application. Let us assume just going for an application. Let us assume for drowsiness. What I can do is I can able to do the program on my server RSS. From that, I can able to change the facial emotions from the facial emotions to the drowsiness without changing the hardware, without changing the initial setup. So the hardware remains once installed, it remains the same. And you need not worry about it. I just go there and do that. That is not happening here. So I just upload it in my cloud, and whatever the data which is wanted, they can able to do it. So whatever the board is wanted, when they request, the board request to the cloud, they can upload the data or download the data from the cloud system. So this has been followed with the help of MQTT. That's why we are making a preference to use MQTT protocol. So this is the most. So what happens is my hardware remains the same and it's being utilized for different application. It has been utilized for the kind of an application, different kinds of an application. You cannot understand, so you cannot imagine different kinds of applications for AI and everything. How do I integrate this? When you go for the first scenario, it is very simple. You have a Pago or Mosquito, you can install in Raspberry Pi or a system, anything, and you can do the code. But here, that is the complexity. So here is the complexity, how it can be connected with the help of a logic. So how do I make it out, this implementation with the help of a MQTT protocol? First thing is about, you have to be taking care about the devices. So I'm just going for this. First thing is, let us assume a case study of Raspberry Pi. Since people have told me that is a Raspberry Pi. So Raspberry Pi will take out how the Raspberry Pi can be utilized for the OTA using MQTT protocol, right? So this is the logic. So the setup, the research, mental setup is going to be like one system connected with my cloud. I tell you what is the cloud and the software which is utilized, and with the Raspberry Pis. We'll make it as Raspberry Pis. So you have numerous Raspberry Pis over here. So connected, this is an assumption, right? So this is an assumption what we have, and this is the logic. It has all been connected with MQTT. Now, where is the broker actually? Can you tell me where is the broker? Answers, please. Where is the broker actually? So I just told you, like, this is the logic, right? This is the for OTA, right? This is the OTA which works on MQTT. Where is the broker? Which is the broker here actually? Broker, which is the broker? Because broker is an intermediate part and which the data has to transmit, where the data is being stored and the slaves will receive it, right? So where you are finding an intermediate solution over here. Where is the intermediate solution? You have a system and you have a cloud, and from the cloud, the Raspberry Pis are connected and we are connecting with the help of MQTT, right? So this is the next application, right? So where do you find the broker here? Where is the broker? Answers? Good one, right? It's a cloud, right? It's a cloud what we have got. So hopefully you have understood it. Super, right? So this is a cloud will be acting as a broker here. So the cloud will be acting as a broker. This is all the slaves which runs your application. And the system, what I'm going to do is I'm just go to model training and everything I'm just going to do on the previous session and just load it on the cloud system. And whoever wants to, the system publishes on the cloud, and whoever is subscribed from the cloud can the Raspberry Pi get it and it updates itself. So this is an MQTT mechanism. Now, so let me see one by one. Before moving on to this, what are the prerequisites for a Raspberry Pi? I'm just taking for this and you can follow this for this, any cases. Raspberry Pi, what is there? You should make it like OTA support. Right? OTA support OS. This is required actually. OTA support OS is required for this. Already there is a Raspbian OS for you actually, but here you have to work on the concept of bootloaders. You have to work on the concept of bootloaders. This is the logic which we have to take care about it. So what is the bootloader? Everybody knows about when there is a power on, when the device is switch on the power, the bootloader initializes your hardware, and more importantly, it carries your OS. There is a lot of difference between the bootloader and you have another package called board support package. The board support package is utilized only to initialize your hardware. But whereas in case of your bootloader, you have to make clear it initializes the hardware and it is the base for carrying your OS. If the bootloader crashes, the whole system, the whole OS crashes. Please remember these 2 points working on BSPs and bootloaders. And here, the OTA support, you have a Raspbian OS, and this can be supported with the help of, there is a symbol and you have to make it OTA equal to 1. so that it can be utilized for a kind of an application. So that it can be utilized for a kind of an application. So OTA, you have to make it as 1, so that my Raspberry Pi is now ready for receiving the data. So it is ready for the receiving the data. Otherwise, it is not being received. It cannot receive, or it cannot able to subscribe the data to my mechanism. After OTA, right? So it has to connect it to my cloud. So it has to connect it to my cloud. If you are uncomfortable with the Raspberry OS, I tell you the another mechanism which has been utilized, your root, and even you can utilize a build root, yeah, Yocto and build root, or even a simple Linux OS. This is on you can utilize for your application. In order to make it an OTA using MQTT, you can make this as a program. So you can use Yocto Linux, build root, or Linux OS for enabling the kind of an application what you want, right? So this is the mechanism what you want, right? So enabling, or you want to change any kind of a bootloaders, you can do this. So it can be supported with Raspberry Pi. You have a lot of mechanisms in the bootloaders, because this has to be done. Without that, you can't able to do your OTA mechanism. So next is about setting up the Raspberry Pi. Next is the cloud service. What kind of cloud service it can be utilized for implementing this kind of application. So this is the logic. So I'll just share the cloud system right now. So hope you are seeing my cloud system. Actually, this is a cloud which is normally utilized for OTA, which works on MQTT protocol. This is known to be an upshift protocol, that is upshift mechanism. So I'll explain you what is this all about, and then we'll move on to this demo session, how the upshift works for a protocol, for a MQTT protocol. So this upshift has been normally utilized in all kind of industries today and all kind of applications. This has been widely utilized for your research also. It is free for open, that is free for certain limit. You can utilize for 40 times about the software, and about this we have to go for pricing for this logic. And for your information, we have created our own web app, and which can utilize for an application. So this is what it has been utilized. So remotely maintain all this confidence with the MQTT protocol. So now this is my what you call the broker, which is available here. Now I just see the login, how it has been working on. So what are the logics and what are the mechanism, and with this OTA, what you can do further with the mechanism. So this we have an upshift which has been working on MQTT protocol, and it is like I'm going to design a model and I will put it on my this cloud system, and from the cloud it is going to be connected with my Raspberry Pi. So the Raspberry Pi is going to subscribe the information and get it and move it on this. So let me start with this. Oh my God. My net is a little bit slow actually, right? Yeah. So let me log in it. So you have to create your login password so you can log in over here. Since we are using this, actually we are using for a kind of an updation and for implementation for the energy management system, we are utilizing this actually, right? So we have utilized up to this, right? So let me explain one by one. What is this all about and what are the logics which we have? At present, the boards are not connected. I'll just tell you what is the thing which we have utilized. So here we have to first point is we have to register. This is what we call the subscription. So this is your register. We have to register the device, and that device you can connect it with N number, right? And you can have the microdata updates. That is whatever the updates you want to do in the coding, you can able to do these cases. And containers update, even the softwares can be done with that. Even the softwares can be updated. For example, if you want to install any kind of a dependency software, that is dependent software. For example, when you are working on an image processing on Raspberry Pi, so you require OpenCV, right? So you install OpenCV and install it. But in certain conditions, I require some other, I need the OpenCV to be upgraded to another case. So that can be done with the help of this logic. So, or else any kind of a software which is supporting, which is a dependency on the OpenCV can be done with the help of this logic. So that is being done with the help of a mechanism. This is a containers update. And you can see which devices are online and which devices are offline. That can be visualized here. So this is then another category what we have, right? This is the logic. So what you can do with this, what is the thing we can do with this? You have to connect a Raspberry Pi. So I'll just repeat the steps to be done. You can surely, because it is open source, if you have Raspberry Pi, you can see what is happening here, right? So once these boards are there, we have to go for the devices. So we have to check which devices are being connecting over here and what are the logics which we have been connecting over the mechanism. So what I do is I just go for the devices. Here, this is the logic which we have connected. We have seen already things. So the general details, everything can be visualized. This is because an MQTT can replace the MAC address of a device, RAM usage, CPU usage, and what kind of version is required. Everything can be seen. And it can be seen with the deployment. What is the last deployment of your software and everything. So this is the most important things which is being utilized today. And most importantly, so I'll just give you the updates also. So it's all already thing the devices you can. It's a GUI dashboard where it has been programmed, where you can do the Python code and you can update on my hardware. So this is how the logic which has been taking place. So I just go for the recent updates. You can see here all the codes which we have deployed here is being seen over here. So the first update, everything has been done. This has been done for some kind of an application. So you can see this one kind of an application is being updated on my hardware boards. So this category will clearly give you the picture that you can do the program on Python and fix the board at anywhere, at any place. Just code it, and through this software, the boards can communicate with each other. The cloud and the boards can communicate with each other, and it can download the code and it can run it, and it can send back you the status also, which is running over in the hardware. So this kind of application is known to be the OTA application, and these kind of applications are being integrated with a kind of MQTT protocol. It has all been done with the MQTT protocol. That is a listing of a publication and subscription. And moreover, you can do with any kind of boards. It is not only with the Raspberry Pi. So since you have been working with Raspberry Pi, I told you an example of Raspberry Pi. It doesn't mean that it comes only with the Raspberry Pi. You can connect with any kind of a devices. So you can connect with any sort of devices which are available, and you can do such a kind of a mechanism. And this is an open source protocol. This is a basic open source protocol for the 40 mechanisms. So this is what the logic is. And I'll try to explain you what are the things you have to do once this for a communication. So you can try it because this is already available in your hands. You can try with your own thing, right? So the logic which I want to share you with this is so I'll just go for my classroom session. What to be done with the help of this logic. If you have an upshift, everything has been uploaded over here. I got one question. Upshift, it is a cloud actually. It is a cloud. Okay, it's a cloud which we have interfaced with the help of your MQTT. So this is what the logic is. So you can utilize for an application. It's clear. Now I'll just make it out. What are the steps to work on? Steps to work on the board side. To run OTA with MQTT. So this you can follow it, and you can generate the device which is being utilized, and you can utilize for your research and everything. So I just repeat, I'll go one by one. I repeat
Dear participants, there is a network issue with the resource person. I think he has left that meeting. Just he will join. Wait a second.
Guys, extremely sorry. There was like a network issue, right? So I'll repeat here. So here